Okay.
All right. So, this new system, as far as the teachers go, is not actually going to be that big a deal. Because the app, I don't know if you guys have gone into the app yet or not, but it is almost exactly the same as Tadpoles. And let me share my screen with you guys real quick so I can show y'all my iPad here. And you can see, like, this is the My Teaching Strategies app. This is not Tadpoles, and it looks exactly the same. There's really only one difference between what the teachers are doing now and what they're going to have to start doing as we roll out My Teaching Strategies. And that's going to involve the entering of activities. But the way that we do diapers, the way we do naps, the way we do bottles, the way we check children in and out, none of that is going to change. It's all going to look exactly the same. They're going to do it exactly the way that they're doing it now. Okay. The only real difference between this app and the Tadpoles app is that now the camera screen is essentially the gold screen. This is the portfolio screen. So you see up here where it says gold, that means everything we're doing in this camera app is going to go on the children's portfolios. So we're now, because we want activities obviously to go into their portfolios, we are going to be doing activities through the camera. Instead of doing activities, we're just going to do notes though. Okay, so we'll enter activities as notes. Everything else though, so like this screen is exactly what you're used to seeing here. So actually let me get into a classroom here and check some people in. All right. So this screen, everything is going to be the way that we've been doing it. The only difference, you're not going to enter activities from here anymore. We're not going to use this tab. Okay. Instead, what we're going to do, so if I have an activity, I'm going to come to the camera screen and I'm going to do a note. So I'm just going to tap right note here so you guys can see this. And then just like a picture, if it's multiple children, which this is nice because it's going to let us select multiple children for an activity instead of just one or all. But if Preston and Charlie do this activity, the reason we want to do it through here is that now we can put our assessments on here. Okay. This is the big difference with this app and Tadpoles is that all those like teaching strategy deals, paper portfolios, they're going to be done through here now. So if we do something like, let's say they like read a story to each other or something, we can come in and tap literacy right here. And then we're going to hit select dimensions, just like we hit add notes and goals on the pictures. We're going to hit select dimensions here. And that's going to let us down here select all of those dimensions from the paper portfolios that we've been doing and just attach them to any activity that we do. And this will work the same way for pictures too. If you take a picture, you're still going to do this exact same thing where you're going to attach this. So we can say that like, I don't know, uses and appreciates books and other texts. I mean, they're reading a book to each other. So we'll say that's what they're doing. And then they're using emergent reading skills. We'll say those are the two things that they're working on. Now, once we select that, you're going to see these rainbow bars pop up here. This is where you're actually going to go to rank them. Remember how we just check off where they are in the books? You can do that in here too. So we're going to click the colored bars and then we'll just put what level they're on. If the teachers are unsure about what a level is, you can just hit the I right here and it's going to give you the exact same examples that it gave you from the teacher manual of the portfolios, right? So if I'm wondering, oh, okay, shows interest in books, what does that look like? All right, here we go. Yes, that's what they were doing. So we're going to go ahead and give Preston, you see we're on Preston here, right? We're going to give him a level 2. Then we're going to hit next child down here so that we can give Charlie hers and we'll give her a 2 as well. And then we'll just say, we're done. Okay. The one thing you got to remember here is if you do have multiple children, you're going to enter it for each of them, but it's still just tap next, tap next, tap next. Still nice and quick and easy, way faster than the portfolios are. And then we can do the same thing here on uses emergent reading skills. We'll go ahead and give them 2s for that as well and get those entered in. And we'll see those again later, but I just want to show you guys how the teachers will be entering these things for activities. Does that make sense? With me? Now, activities, obviously, we don't want to email those to the parents right away. So we'll go ahead and just send those to the daily report. And then we'll just click add to report down here. They'll still need to come in here though and type in their normal stuff, right? Like what did the child do and what did the child learn? The same way they do on normal activities. So, you know, Charlie and Preston practiced their pre-literacy skills as they pretended to read a book to each other. Right, and then we'll come down here and hit add to report. It takes a little time to show up, but it will show up here. This app is a little slower than Tadpoles with that kind of stuff, but it will still go on the parents' daily report. Any questions about any of that stuff? I can go back slower if you need me to. It's pretty self-explanatory, and really that's the only difference in the app is we just need to make sure that our teachers are doing activities through the camera on the notes as opposed to pictures. They'll still have to take a picture per child every day, and you'll do pictures the exact same way. They still have the dimensions and all of that stuff.
Tyson, I do have one question. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay, so let's say like we are lesson planning like a week at a time, like where we used to do like in the lesson section of the app. Is that still accessible and possible, or we can only be doing it like that day through the camera?
It is possible. It is not possible on the app. I will show you how to do it in the dashboard. And because the teachers have their own individual logins, they'll be able to go into their dashboard and do that stuff.
Oh, okay, great.
Does that make sense? So I'll show you how to do it. That is the one real bummer to it. And honestly, if they're doing a couple of activities that way, especially like you can still do it for snack, obviously. And a couple of things in the lessons are not going to be the end of the world. If you don't have to document every single thing that you're doing. But you do want to make sure you're getting like 2 to 3 documentations a day. So as long as you're getting those 2 to 3, it's fine. And your picture is going to be one of those. So if you get just like one other activity in there, whether it's outside time or a planned activity or a personal notation or whatever it is, that's fine. And they can pre-plan the other stuff in the lessons tab like normal.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do lessons be approved the way the teachers have to be approved by admin, or does it just go through as a teacher sends it?
From the camera screen, it's the same, right? Because it's on the camera screen, so it's still going to come to you for approval. Does that make sense? Because it's on it's on the camera screen.
Okay.
I do want to make sure that everybody is aware that like, while you can still click these gray boxes down here, they will not bring up the portfolio stuff. Only the white boxes will bring up the developmental domains. Okay, so when your teachers are doing that, if they want something to go into the child's portfolio, into their assessment, they have to do it through these white boxes. All right, everybody cool on that? All right.
Hey, Tyson, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these boxes and there's no brain lobes. Are we not doing brain lobes anymore, or is it gonna be different?
Just a demo mode. We have not, this is not like the stepping stone edited stuff. So the stuff that you see is stuff that we have gone in and personally changed. That hasn't happened here yet. So that yes, we are still doing brain lobes.
Okay,
It's
thank you.
It's not gonna be here. Okay, any other questions before we leave the app? Because that's really all I have to say about the app, because essentially everything they're doing besides that one little thing is gonna be the same.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
They are uploading the pictures. Are they still able to upload from album, or does the picture have to also be taken through the app?
No, yeah, you can.
That part didn't change. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, see, the album is still right here. Yeah, no, really nothing, all our green screen pictures from the conference. Yeah, nothing there has changed. All right, so let me stop this share, and then we're gonna start looking at the actual website. So just make sure that you're logged in to the website. You're on the main home screen. It should say welcome, whatever your name is, at the top. And then let's go ahead and get into mine. Okay. So while you do have some like little quick things right here, I personally don't find them very useful. I like to use these guys up here a lot more. I find them much easier to navigate through these. And these, we're not really going to worry about family in the hub. Y'all don't need to really know about those right now. But I'm gonna first off show you kind of like how the teachers will use this dashboard. And to be clear, they don't have to use the dashboard. They can continue doing things the way they're doing them now on the app, and that will be perfectly fine. But if you have those teachers who are, kind of go that extra mile and want to like delve deeper into this stuff, they are more than welcome to do so. And they, like I said, they will each have their own personal login, so they'll be able to really customize their experience within this app. So let's go ahead and go to the Teach tab right here, because this is going to be the one that the teachers are going to be able to do their lesson planning on. Now, you're going to initially see like whatever your, actually, let me go into my toddler class here. Because they have, I've actually customized their calendar to show like a bunch of different stuff than what is just there. And the way that you're going to do that to set up your daily schedule, the way that it actually looks in your classroom, is to go into the weekly template right here. This is the first thing. It's one of those things that you do it once and then never have to do it again, but it is the first thing that you have to do as a teacher when you're coming in here. So if you'll click on this weekly template, you'll see mine's going to look a little different than yours because I have gone through here and added some stuff. But everything that you basically want to do on this screen is going to be right over here. So we can add something to the template, we can delete from the template, or we can move the time of day. If we want to add something to the template, let's say we want to add like center time or something like that. So we can hit add to template here, and then it's going to ask you what days you want to add it to. So you can just select the whole week because our schedules are the same all the time. So we'll just come over here and do that, and then we'll hit next. And then we can select from here, what do we want to add? Their stuff is really vague. I don't personally like it very much, so I pretty much always add custom. And then, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but my screen doesn't look like yours at all.
Mine does not either. I have nothing he has.
Are you on weekly template?
It
So
doesn't
I
have,
Not even an option.
Yeah, I went to teach.
I don't either.
And then, yeah.
Okay.
Here,
What is
look.
it? What
Hold on.
shows up? I don't know if you'll be allowed to share.
Even your quick link options are not options for us.
This is
Yeah.
all we have, Tyson. That's all we have.
Right.
same.
There's no option to add anything either.
You guys are, oh, I know why. It's because y'all aren't in any classrooms. This is what it will look like for your teachers though.
Oh,
Because
Okay.
see, I'm in my toddler demo classroom because I have set myself as the teacher for that classroom. So let's actually click on this for me. Everybody click your name up here.
Yeah.
And then go to administration. Okay, does everybody have administration?
I don't have the administration thing
Environment for our children to learn, so
at Brody.
we are going
I
to,
can't do anything about that right now, Larissa. Sorry.
Okay.
but as well as lots of
All right. And do y'all have this?
Yes.
Okay. So this is where you're gonna go as an administrator to basically add anything new. So if you got a new child that enrolls, you have a new teacher, you need to set up a new classroom. Like anything that is new, you're gonna come to this administration tab and be able to do that. So
on my screen, it says that I don't have access over programs.
yeah, that might be because you're an assistant. It may just be the principals, Lindsay.
Okay.
Can we get
So
access?
everybody go to classes first. And then I don't know if you'll
Mine-
have this, but just go
I
ahead
don't
and
have-
select.
Either.
Go, That's an Acacia thing. I can't do anything about that right now. But just go to your site right here if you need to, and then just hit submit right over here where mine says edit filter. I've already hit submit, but just select your site and hit submit. So do y'all have a list of your classrooms now? Right here? Yes, everybody? Okay. Just click any one that you want. And then just remember which one you've clicked, and you can assign yourself as a teacher to that. See, like how I've assigned myself as the assistant teacher. You can just even like assistant teacher 5, just put your name in there so you'll have access to that classroom. You'll need to do this at some point in all the classrooms in your school, but for now, we'll just do one so we can.
So should assistants be logging out right now and asking the principals to log in? Because like I can't follow what you're doing because I'm on my account.
Yes. Yeah. But Brittany is not, doesn't have it either, so.
I was able to go in and add myself though to a classroom.
Okay, as long as you can add yourself to a classroom, then.
How?
You go to classes. And then it'll have you filter out your classes. So you select your site, click submit, and all your classrooms will pop up. Pick one.
Yeah, so like when you first hit classes, it's gonna look like this. But you need to select your site, which I'm default site, that's the main office. And then you can just hit submit here. And then once you go into a class, then you can add your name as one of the teachers and then just save it at the bottom. Right there. Okay, I'm going to assume everybody is with me unless somebody tells me to stop. So just remember what classroom you assigned yourself to, because that's what it should say it up here for you. But if it doesn't, then we'll click on it in just a second. But before we do, we'll go ahead and stick with the admin stuff. So users is teachers.
I don't have that person.
You just don't have the option to do it.
I have the classes and okay, I click on classes and then I found myself under teacher, and so I press submit, but I don't have any classes. I can't manage any classes. And on the site, I put Plum Creek, but that's.
Yeah, it just says manage classes, no classes found, and then there's no option to add ourselves to one.
Oh, it's because this stuff hasn't been entered. All right, Lindsay and Brittany, I just put you in the animators.
Yeah.
It's still not showing up on my end to be able to access it.
Hey,
Sorry,
sorry to interrupt. Tyson, I see in the section where you're assigning, because I already gone in and done that, in the section where you're assigning and it talks about curriculum, I was just pressing none, but do you want us to do other and write Stepping Stone School?
whatever.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
If you can't, just follow along with me. I'm sorry if you're unable to do this. Hopefully you'll be able to do the teacher stuff now, at least though. Okay, so users, again, anytime you want to add anything, the ad's just going to be over here on the left-hand side, whether it's a new class or a new teacher. So when you have teachers come to you as part of their center orientation, you're going to have to start setting this up for them. It's not like tadpoles where you can just take their picture on the iPad and put them in. There's because everybody has their own login, there's a whole new step that we're having to do here where we are having to add new teachers. It's really easy. I'll go ahead and click it so you can kind of see. So you'll just come in, select your site, and then enter their information here. Give them a username, and it will just be their first name, period, last name. And then you'll give them like their access for their classroom right here. It'll be, I don't want to like actually save this person, but that's how you do it. It's really user-friendly and self-explanatory. It's not, you're not going to have any trouble with it. Children's basically the same thing. If you have a new child that enrolls, just as part of getting them in ProCare or whatever, you're going to come and put them right here to add a new child. If they have any information that changes, you can edit them from right here and change like any information that you might have with them. But again, it's just going to be what classroom they're in, their names, and then that's basically it. It's pretty basic in here. It's not like a ton of.
That's easy.
Yeah, and then the last thing I want to show you guys in here is messages. Just this kind of works like the sticky notes in Petals, and you can still use sticky notes in the other one. But if you do want any messages that you want to send, you can bring them in here, and then you can again, add is right over here. So if I want to make a new message, we can just make this test message number 2. And then what we can do is we'll just hit save message. And then, why is it not? I don't know why it's not going back to my messages, but it won't send it until you actually select it. So like you have to select it here. So if I want to send both of these messages, I'll just select both of them and then hit save messages. And then on your front page, and it'll be the same for your teacher's front page too. It'll be right here. And see, I haven't read this message, so it's showing as unread. And this message is right here.
These are messages to staff.
Yeah, so it'll show up on the teacher's main page.
And we would use that for something like, hey, loved this lesson plan, but here's how you could have fixed it or whatever.
Or whatever. I mean, I'm sure that how you use that is going to vary from school to school and management style to management style. And you may prefer to walk in and like hand them actual Post-it notes or talk to them in person or whatever. I'm just letting you know that this option exists for you. But it's not something that you necessarily need to use. I just wanted you to know it was there. All right, so who just clicked in? Is it somebody new? Oh, it's Christina. Denise and Christina. Christina does have video. Perfect. Denise, if you can log in on like a phone or something with video, just so we can make sure we can see your lovely face. All right. So just as a reminder that where you find that stuff is right here in the administration tab. That's such a weird place for it to be, but if you need to add a new child, add a new teacher, new class, you're going to find that under administration over here in your profile. It's not going to be on your front page. All right. So now if you have Teach here, wonderful. If you don't, we'll work with you on getting that set up. It's because you're not assigned to any classrooms. Mine was all grayed out too when I forgot about that. It was so long ago. But so if you click on Teach, again, the first thing your teachers are going to want to do is go to this weekly template, because this is where they're going to set up their daily schedule to be customized to what they want it with. This is what it's going to look like initially right here. You can see, so this is my infant class. In my toddler class, you can see that I have actually done a bunch more with that. Like I've got nap in here and PM snack and lunch and stuff. These are reversed. But let me go back to my infant class so mine can look like y'all's. If you want, again, the teachers can use this or not. It's up to them. It depends on what their workflow is, how they do it. But if they want to be able to really customize their stuff, even more so than you could in the lessons tab on Tadpoles, this is what we need to set up first. So first thing we're gonna wanna do is add some new things, like, you know, let's say, center time. So we can hit add to template here, and we're gonna add center time, obviously, to every day of the week. So we'll click all 5 days and then hit next. And then we're gonna come in here, and center time is obviously not here. So we'll just hit custom and then done. And then what we can do is you can just come right here, and then only on custom can you do this. Like family partnerships, I can't edit this, but in custom I can. I can change it to center time, right? Which is why I like custom, because then I can actually name it whatever the heck I want to name it. Unfortunately, you do have to do that 5 times rather than just once and sit it like go across the board. But then what we can do is we can move times of day, and we can say, all right, wait, where did my, oh, okay. So now I can move. What is happening here? My center time is going away. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me try one more time.
I don't think you saved center time.
Oh, is
There's
that what's happening? Oh, yeah, okay. My bad. All right, so we'll hit save down there, and then we'll hit move time of day. Yeah, thank you, Anise. And then I can just put that, you know, I can rearrange this to whatever I want it to be. Okay, now once they have their weekly template set, then they can go into weekly experiences. And this is where they can actually set their lesson plans. So we've got tomorrow here, and we've got whatever we want to do. So let's say we have an indoor group experience that we want to do. And we can select multiple of these too, like we're doing the same thing multiple days. So you can select as many of these indoor group experiences as you want. It'll highlight all of them. But you have to select if you want to edit that one. But we're just going to do tomorrow, and we'll say, all right, so next. And then whatever we want to do here, we can either make our own activity, like we've got our own custom activity. But something that's really nice about this app is their intentional teaching experiences. So this allows our teachers to find research-based, developmentally appropriate activities that are already in here that they can use in their classroom if they are looking for something that teaches like a specific thing, right? So we can come in here and we can either say by experience or objective. So let's say that we really want to work on like hand-eye coordination in our class. We can come in here, and then we can come into physical, and then we can look at the different skills. And since I've already entered stuff for these kids, you can actually see where they are at on the assessment. But like if we want to work on uses drawing and writing tools, we can click right there, and it's going to bring us up a bunch of activities that we can choose from that are going to teach that objective. Does that make sense? And then we can hit save here. So let's do sand letters, right? So and it will show us all the stuff that we need for it. It will show everything that how it works, all of that stuff, and then we'll just hit add to plan. And then we'll go ahead and hit save. So then when we are back at our weekly experience, here it is, right? And it's right here. And then that's going to automatically show up tomorrow, just like it does on the lessons tab and tadpoles. Tomorrow, this will automatically show up on their lesson plan. Does that make sense? Everybody with me? If you get lost, you just shout out to me, guys. I'm going to assume that you're with me unless I hear something from you.
And not, so they have to do this every single day?
They don't have to do it at all.
Okay.
This is just
for those extra teachers
that want to go that extra mile.
Okay.
They can continue to enter their stuff day of in the app the same way that they've been doing it this whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a way to so like on Tadpoles, there's a way to save it. So if I'm helping out the teachers and I'm putting in each lesson plan for multiple classrooms, is there a way to do the same thing on here where I can like copy a lesson for a day and put it in another classroom?
No, because each teacher only has access to their thing, right? That's the difference between this and Tadpoles, is that every teacher is an individual entity here. Does that make sense? So like you have to do it for each individual classroom.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Tyson, are we able to set ourselves as co-teachers in every one of the classrooms so that we have accessibility to them?
Yeah, 100%. That is what you should do. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, there's up to 5 teachers you can list in any classroom, so you can go through and do that. You can also just make yourself the teacher. I'll show you how to do that in a second. Like pretend you are that teacher in your thing. I'll show you how to do it. But for now, I just want to show you this. I'm just going to click another one though. This outdoor group experiences here, just so you can see what a custom activity looks like as well. If you come in here, you can just, put the name, enter in what it does, say, yes, I want this to be my whole class. And then again, you can select what objectives it works on. So like if we're outside, probably physical, and we could say that we're working on balancing or whatever, and then we can add that to the plan. And it will do the same thing that way. But it will then create a library of activities for you. That
So
you
do
can-
these need to be,
I didn't click it though. So let me show you. I forgot to click. Right. Where is it? Well, I don't know if I can do it now, but at the bottom right here, there's a little checkbox that just says add activity to library, and you'll just check it.
Okay.
does their template for the day need to be in order of when they do their things, or
Yeah.
they're just using
Yeah.
it?
I mean, it makes more sense that way. And again, you can move them around in the weekly template and you can set it to exactly the correct order that they want to do. And then that template will just stay the same forever and ever and ever, unless they mess with it. And then every day here will show up in the order that they set in the weekly template. Does that make sense?
So I don't have the weekly experiences option. So is that because I wasn't assigned to a classroom before, or should it be in
Yes.
every single classroom?
No. Yeah, it's because you haven't been assigned yet, but don't worry about that. We'll get it all fixed, and you guys can go through your stuff and tell me, like, assign yourselves to classrooms and then see if that doesn't fix it. And if it doesn't, then we'll go through and look at it and make sure. We're rolling this out on the 1st, so we have a couple weeks to iron out all the kinks as you guys are getting in here and messing around and making sure that all this stuff works for you. Okay.
Tyson, I have another question. So sorry if you've already outlined this and I was lost. So when we are inputting an activity, we can either select custom activity or intentional teaching experience, or does it need to be input under both?
No, just one or the other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are the options for one or the other. They have another thing in there called Mighty Minutes, and they're like quick little like snippet activities that you can use too. They're not full blown like lesson plan activities or anything like that. But they are really neat, and you should encourage your teachers to go through there and look at them, at least as they get more familiar with this stuff. Again, when we first roll this out, I don't really expect anybody to be using this in terms of your teachers. They should really continue to just use the app like normal, getting used to entering the activities with the developmental objectives attached to them. And then as they get more comfortable from that, then we'll start to add more and more stuff to it. I just want to give you guys like a really quick overview of this stuff.
So
And if you're lost, don't worry. The develop tab is going to show you how to do every single one of these things in minute detail. So I'll show you that in a little bit, but it literally will show you exactly how to do just weekly experiences, a whole training on just this screen. And it'll do that for every single tab. So it's not, I don't expect you to know how to do this stuff 100% at the end of this training. This is a very, very brief, quick overview just to kind of get you familiar with this dashboard. All right.
So they'll continue to use the Tadpoles app like they are now, or they'll switch over to the Teaching Strategies app?
Teaching Strategies app, because as I showed you, it literally is the Tadpoles app with one little extra. So yeah, they're only going to use that. You guys We'll still continue to use the Tadpoles dashboard though, to manage your ratios and approve pictures and all of that same stuff that you're using the Tadpoles dashboard to do now.
Okay.
They are telling us that it is on the roadmap to combine that stuff into one dashboard. And give the app more functionality to do some of this stuff, so they don't have to sit down at a computer to do it. But it's not there yet, but they are telling us that is in their plans that they're developing. But anyway, all right, let's move to the Assess app. You guys are not gonna you're mostly gonna look at me here because you guys have not added any documentation into your kiddos, but I have. And so you can see that, like, for social emotional, I've got 18 pieces of documentation for Charlie here. Now she's red because she's a baby, not because this is bad. You guys know what the colors are. Red is 0 to 12-month-olds. So this red color means she's 0 to 12. Drake is orange because he's 12 to 8. He's 12 to 24, right? It's just their colors. That's what the color of the folders mean. You can, this is the at a glance tab. You can click right here and it will open up social emotional for you, so you can see each individual domain here. And then you can even click on a domain. You can click on an individual child too, but I personally just recommend clicking at the top where it says like 2C. Oh, you can't do it on this one. So we'll do that on the next one. But if I click here on Charlie's, I can see over here her documentation. And if I click on 2C, it's going to show me all the activities that they have preloaded that are going to teach that skill. So if I'm looking for something for my lesson plan, this is another way to get to it, where I can just click right here and find something over here. All right. Let me go over to my toddler room because these guys are full. They have a ton of documentation. But my toddler room doesn't. My toddler room, I've really only entered stuff for social emotional for them. So you can see even within social emotional, I've got the first assessment, right, of manages feelings over here. But the other stuff, I only have this one piece of documentation for Blythe over here. So you can see at a glance as a teacher where you need to be entering documentation. Any documentation that we're putting in is going to show here. So like that stuff that we did earlier on the app, when that report goes out, that daily report goes out, those documents, like we did, I think we did reading, right? So that's going to show up over here for whatever children we entered that in for. Does that make sense? It automatically shows up from the app onto the dashboard. Okay. So as long as they're doing those 2 to 3 documentations a day, they're going to have all the documentation they need. If they do need to add any additional documentation, they can do it through this add documentation tab, but really, I don't think that they will. This is a pretty self-explanatory tab. You're just going to enter whatever it is. If you've got a photo, you can put it here. You'll just select whatever children this is for, and then you can just select whatever developmental domains it is working on here. But really, I don't think that this add documentation tab is one that we're going to use. View documentation it will just let you go back and see any pictures of stuff that you've done, that you've already entered. So if this loads, you'll see a bunch of pictures of tables and stuff. This one is a note. That's why it looks like this, because I didn't have a picture associated with it. If you have a picture, it'll show you a picture here. The thing that we really care about on this one is checkpoints. This is the assessment. This is what is replacing that paper document, those books that we've been doing forever. And as I said, as you're entering assessments for the children on the iPad, they're going to show up here. So if I click social emotional here, oh, it's because I'm not their teacher. Let me show you how to pretend to be a teacher, because then once I pretend to be their teacher, it'll show up. So this is how, if you need to like get into one of your teacher's accounts, this is how you'll do it. You'll go to administration here, And then you're gonna select a user. So default site for me. And then I'm gonna go to Pete Demo, who is my teacher. And then you're gonna hit this button right here, emulate user. This lets you pretend to be them. Okay, so any teacher in your school, you can emulate them. So you'll pretend to be the teacher there. And then now you can see I'm actually Pete Demo here. So if I go back to assess and I go back to checkpoints, let me get her back in the toddler room. Now, when I come in here, you can see that I've got stuff entered for them. These little check marks right here means that I've got assessments or activities that have assessed this developmental objective, right? And if I click on it, I can see in much more detail what they are. Once I'm in here, so I'm on 1A, and let me go back so I can show you guys where I clicked. You just click right here where it says 1A. You can also click it for just Adam, but I personally would just click here, which brings it up for your whole class. All right, so you're just gonna click 1A right here, and it's gonna bring up that objective for your class. And I can just, right now, it's telling me, hey, we suggest, that's what this is. We suggest that this is the rating for this child, right? It's already got it there because you've put in all this documentation. You don't have to think about it. It's already telling you, here's where they're at. And you just now have, or the teacher, not you, the principal, but your teachers will just click save and continue right here. And when they do that, it's going to take them just to the very next objective. So it's going to go then to 1B, and it's going to show those same check marks, and they can, as long as they agree with them, they can just hit save and continue. And so them entering assessments is basically going to look like, so I'll hit save and continue here. So yes, save and continue. And then we're going to go to 1B, right? And so now we're on 1B. And as long as I agree with this, I can just hit save and continue, and it's going to assess the children super fast. You're just going to go save and continue, save and continue, save and continue, save and continue, all the way through the assessment. So it's not taking them an hour per child anymore. They can just, as long as they agree with what these suggestions are, they can just hit save and continue. If they disagree, like if I'm like, she did that one time, right? But really she's over here. I can click it and it'll put her check mark right here. Does that make sense? And so you can see all your children at once. If you agree with it, just hit save and continue, and you can go all the way through the entire assessment that way. Does that make sense to everybody? Hopefully now you're all going like, dude, that is going to speed up things for them so much. This is going to make everything so much faster for them. But it only is going to work if they're entering those developmental objectives while they are entering the activities on the app. Right? So, and then we'll need to make sure that they have time to sit down and do this, but it really is not going to take them that much time at all.
Tyson, is there going to be accessibility to do this through the app or only through the dashboard online?
Again, right now, only on the dashboard. Texas apparently has way stricter rules about internet in classrooms than pretty much every other state, is what we're finding. So this is not a problem for most of their clients. That they can't be on the internet in classrooms. But they are telling us that the app is going to get more of this functionality. So hopefully down the road, like closer probably to the end, toward the end of the year, like that of 2024, not the school year, this may be coming to the app. But for right now, it's only on the. All right. No, you're not going to say that because I'm going to use it for my other trick. All right. Any questions on assess? Shout out now because I'm going to move to develop. All right. So develop is the training module. It's going to, their training module is called Quorum. Personally, I don't think Quorum is that great. We'll go ahead and go over there to take a look at it just so you can see what it is. Now, right here, so I'm still Pete Demo. So Pete Demo has 5 trainings are all these trainings that have been assigned to them so they can go into their age group and do their age group training. This is gonna have some stuff that is gonna be like how to use the app and stuff. But for the most part, I personally, like I said, I don't really think they're that great. But you guys can go, hold on. Let me stop emulating her. So I'm pretending to be Pete Demo. Once you're done with that, you can just click stop emulating over here on this. Let me do Tyson again so I can show you all admin stuff. All right. Let's go back to McQuam. And I actually have taken a couple of these trainings so you can see what it looks like. Like these are the ones that I've assigned to myself. And then you can see like how far somebody is with that stuff. You assign things to your teachers over here on this hamburger menu up here with my team. So you're the manager, so these are your options. So you can click my team right here and you'll see I have everybody, but these are the teachers in the entire system that have been set up. You guys got a lot of work to do to get your teacher set up, okay? This is it for all of Stepping Stone. So we need to make sure that all of our teachers are getting set up in here. But once you have one of your teachers, then you can go to assignments right here and you can see what they've been assigned, and then you can also assign them new stuff. Okay. Honestly, I don't really see us using this. Like I said, I think LMS is going to still continue to be the place that we assign them stuff. And if they want help with this, with the dashboard, you guys, and this goes for y'all too, come to this question mark right here. And it's on every screen. Like if I go to the main screen, the question mark's still here. This is always here. And you're going to click support right here. And then you're going to go to the support portal. This sucker is way better at helping you learn how to use this dashboard. So you'll see here, what do you want? Really, these are the only two that we're using. We're going to go into gold since we already all are pretty familiar with tadpoles. And you have two options here. The first is going to be their video library, which you'll just click right here. But these are all documents on how to do all of this stuff. So like, for example, if I want to, if you're like, oh man, he went over those checkpoints so fast and I didn't really understand what he was talking about with those assessments, you can come right here and click on checkpoints right here. And it's going to give you a help guide, if it loads, showing you how to use this entire thing, like walking you through it step by step through the whole thing. Right? And this is why I'm saying I'm going kind of fast, giving you a really brief overview because this exists for you guys. And anything that you get stuck on and you're not able to figure out, you can just come to the support portal. Okay. So as a reminder, it's just in this question mark, support portal. That's how you get to it. It's a little convoluted, but once you're in it, man, this has everything you need. And it even has the left side is all for teachers. The right side is all for administrators, how to use that stuff. So a lot of this stuff is really like main office administrative stuff, but there is some stuff in here for you guys as well. Mostly this top section. But any questions you have about how to use the website, this is where you're going to get your answers. Okay, is everybody cool on that?
I know this is like also Rhonda question, but are we going to get a day or a weekend day where we can do this training with our staff?
I don't have that answer. Again, we're going to roll it out to the staff pretty slowly. Our goal is to just add like little piece here, little piece there, until we kind of get this whole thing out. Because again, the app, what they're doing in the app does not need a training. It is just, hey, let me show you how to do this one little thing. And everything else is exactly the same as tablets. Right? And they can continue to just use the app the way that they've been using it and be perfectly fine. As long as they're getting 2 pieces of documentation in the assessment a day. And it's fine. Does that make sense? And then the idea is that once they are more familiar with that, then we go, okay, well, here's if you want to set up your stuff online for your lesson plans. Here's how you would do that. And again, they're getting assigned these trainings too. They have a ton of, just like with LMS, when they first get hired and they get a bunch of stuff that's automatically assigned to them, the same thing is happening here too. So they'll get these trainings that they can do online. So you should.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
So, with them being able to do it on tadpoles, is there a way that they're able to track which ones that they've already accounted for? So that way they're not doing like the same 10, they're actually hitting each of the marks.
Are you talking about the assessments?
Yes. So when you showed us on tadpoles how they can make it apply to their portfolios.
Yes. So that is actually our next tab. That leads perfectly into what I was going to talk about next, which is the report screen. So the reports here mostly focus on assessments. There are a couple of other things here, but they're mostly reports for the teachers, not for the administrators. And there are 3 that I really want to point out, and they are class profile, an individual child down here, and then this assessment status. This one's more for you guys. So let's click this first, because it's basically just going to show you in your classroom. So like, let's go to the main office here, and we can see my 2 fake classrooms. I can see that that my infant class has done all of their assessments, right? All of their portfolios are complete, and I can see that my toddler class has not done any of them yet. So you can track and see how far along they are with that stuff right here with each classroom. That's what this report is for. These other ones are going to be for the teachers, this class profile and individual child. This is just basically an individual child breakdown of this report. So this is the main one, the class profile report. So when we click this, again, we'll say, let's do my infant class, because they're the ones that actually have their assessments done. And then we will go ahead and hit generate report right down here. So now I can see, so to your question, Anise, I can see exactly where these children are rated. And if they don't have a rating, it'll be blank. So I can see, I've only got 4 kids in my class, but I can see that all 4 of them are right here for this one. Everybody's here. And this, where their names are, the bar is the widely held expectations. Where their names are is where their assessment has them. Does that make sense? So you can see these guys are at the closer to the end of their widely held expectation, whereas Drake is right at the beginning of his. And then if they're outside of it, they'll just be written in white. I have 1, or I have a couple here. You can see like Preston is above the widely held expectations, and Emmy and Preston are above the widely held expectations over here. Does that make sense? So you can see, and they'll be blank. I mean, I've done them for all of these guys, but if there's one that's missing, it will just be blank for that one. There won't be anything here. Or the child's name won't be listed here. And so if you're looking for an individual child and to see if they have any blanks, so you're not reading like the names of every child in your class, that's this report. That's the individual child report. And it will do it for all your kids. You don't have to pick an individual child. So I can just, again, keep demo here, and we'll do my infant room. And then we'll go ahead and say yes. And then, so this is Charlie's, right? So I can see exactly where Charlie was ranked, anywhere she had documentation. It will have the date of that documentation, and I can see exactly where she is. And then we go down to Drake, and then we can see his. So you can see where any individual child has any blanks where they need to do some assessments. Does that make sense? Yes.
So where it says winter, is it going to automatically do the 4 for us? Like label them so they know, like I see the date, but is that also the label is automatic?
Yep. Yeah. So the next one that we do, we'll say spring. Because we're rolling this out in the spring. Yeah, on March 1st. So yeah. Any other questions? Okay. There will be a fall conference training on this. So like I think kind of the hope is to just get everybody at least passingly familiar with it before then. And then for those teachers who want to learn more, that's going to be the time where we can really roll out some more of that stuff. But if you have some that are just taking all the trainings that they were assigned and really interested in starting to use these tools, they're more than welcome to do so before then. But again, nobody has to use this teacher-wise except for the assessments. That's the only thing they have to do on here is the portfolios, the assessments. Any other questions?
So for like parent teacher conferences, what we're pulling up is the child's individual at that
You
point.
show it to the parents, but yes.
Okay.
Same as always. There is a report card in here. Actually, ignore that. We haven't, I don't know if we're going to use that or not, but they do have a report basically for conferences, but I don't know if Rhonda's going to want to use that or not. So it's a moot point. Okay. Last thing I want to talk about is, of course, because it's me, summer camp. Everybody should have gotten my email with all the summer camp information that you can print out and start showing to your parents. So please make sure that you are really hyping up summer camp. People are really asking about it. There's just a lot of interest already about summer camp. So we wanted to get in your hands all the information that we could, so you could talk intelligently and be really excited about it. Make sure that the flyer you're passing out is the one that Sarah sent out today, or Acacia, not the one that I sent out with the email originally. If you did pass that one out, don't worry, it didn't have like any typos or anything. Rhonda just wanted to change a couple of things with it. It's not very well. But the newer flyer, make sure you're passing that out to all your parents. Sunglasses are coming to pass out to all of our school agers, because your future is so bright at Stepping Stone, you got to wear shades, right? And make sure you're saying that when you're passing them out, because Rhonda really loves it. Just because we don't have summer packets doesn't mean that parents can't sign up for summer. All right. There is just, as long as you charge them the $100 summer fee, and they've paid it, they're signed up for summer. Okay. So if you have parents that are already interested in summer, just make sure you're charging that fee and collecting that fee in ProCare, and they're good to go. Their spot is reserved. Okay. Especially now that you can talk about the summer. And talk about what field trips we're going to be going on, even though you can't tell them, oh, this is the exact day that we're going to main event, you can still talk about it, right? And the main event field trip is going to be really, really cool. They're going to get to play laser tag in the arcade, but they're also going to get to learn about all the science behind how those things work. So it's like a whole little session that they do with the people at main event, where they learn about how those things work, and then they get to do those things. So I'm pretty stoked about that one, and I think it could be a really good selling point for the summer. Most of the other ones, if you guys have been here for a while, you know what they look like and what they are. But last thing I want to talk about summer is that we are going to be offering a half-day rate. We don't have the rate yet, but half days are going to be an option for the summer. So if you have those families that just need summer camp for the morning, just that open to 12:30. Just like we do for the younger age groups, that is going to be something that is going to be an option for the summer. So if you have any parents you think might leave if they don't have that rate, make sure that you are offering that to them, and we will get that rate to you as soon as we know what it is.
For the
Okay.
whole building, for school age only. Sorry, I missed that.
Do what?
For the whole building or for school age only?
It's already everywhere else, but this is going to be for school age summer. It's not something. Okay. Obviously, we don't offer it during the school year. They're not here at the mornings, but some parents do just need morning care, and so Rhonda is going to offer that.
Right. I didn't realize that we had half-day care for everywhere else. I was under the impression it was only Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday.
No, there are open to 12:30 rates.
Oh, I don't have those rates. So I was unaware.
They should be in your ProCare. If they're not, talk to Helen. You may have, there may be something special at your school, Christina. I don't know.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to name off everybody I have written down here so that you can get credit for having had this training. If you hear your name, you are good to log off. If you don't hear your name, stay on so that I can get you down and make sure you get credit, all right? Lindsay Wiley, Brittany Stewart, Jessica Williamson, Judy Irish, Delana, Jennifer, Devin, Julia, Sarah Ramirez, Shelby, Donna, Christina, Larissa, Liz, Emily Perneda, Jade, Israel, Anise, Jan, Brianna Stewart, Christina Garcia, and Denise Blocker. Judy. You're good, Judy.
Leah is also here, Tyson.
Okay, Leah is good.
I'm also here with Jade, Brianna.
I said your name.
Oh, I heard Brianna Stewart.
Oh, what is your last name?
Scott.
Scott, my bad. Right letter, wrong name, sorry. Brianna Stewart is a basketball player. That's my bad.
No
You're good,
problem.
Brianna. Christina Watson, I got you and Larissa. You're good. Julia, I didn't say you. I did say you, Julia. Anise, I got you. Denise, I got you. Yeah, that's everybody. I got everybody. All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. Bye.